Next, we're going to go over the basic operations and functions of the EasyTouch panel that we install with all pools. This is the panel. We have our screen logic receiver here, which you may or may not have. What that is to connect the pool automation system via Wi-Fi so that you can then control it from your phone from basically anywhere in the world, as long as you have an internet connection. Once we open the panel, first thing we're going to see is the breakers for the system. They're just like the breakers in your house, so if they're tripped, they'll be in the middle. What you'll do is flip them off and then back on. We have low voltage circuit breakers here for the panel itself. If these are flipped, they'll be popped down and you'll just flip them back up. Anytime that you're going to have to reset any of these breakers, you're going to hit this reset button next, just to clear the panel, refresh it, make sure there's no scheduling conflicts that have arisen. From there, we get into the buttons and the display of the EasyTouch. First, we have filter pump, which we don't recommend using. We recommend using the mode button to operate the pool as far as turning it on and off. Essentially, that is your on-off button for the pool. All three modes are listed here on your panel. The first one we have is auto, which is showing on the display. And that just means that everything is fully automated. It's going to run as scheduled, your lights, the pump, your sanitizer, and any other features that you may have. The next one after that is service mode. So if you hit the mode button once, we'll see service on the display. What that is going to do is turn off all automation, and nothing is going to come back on until you turn it on. If you hit it once more, we have timeout mode. Timeout mode is the same thing as service mode, except after 3 hours, the system is going to kick back on automatically on its own. So sometimes as you're getting to know the pool and you're getting comfortable with it, it's nice to use that service mode in case you're worried about forgetting to turn it back on. After that, we have your lights button, and these buttons may vary on your pool, depending on what features you have. So your lights button or pool LED lights will typically turn on the pool lights and turn them off manually. We have a high speed button which ramps up the speed of the pump that you may want to use sometimes for clearing air from the pump or during vacuuming if you prefer it. And then this pool has a landscape light button also that ties in Pentair lights with the pool lights. On this particular panel, that's all that we're using. But if we go to the display, we first have the pool water temperature and then the heater set point. If you have a heater, this is how you will adjust the heater temperature. By using the select left and right arrow keys, anytime that the second temperature here, the heater set point, is above the pool water temperature, it's going to kick that heater on. After that, we have ambient air temperature and then the time and date. As far as basic programming goes, one of the first items you'll see in menu is lights. So if we go to lights and then modes, you have your different light modes that are going to change colors and vary their speed depending on the mode. After that, we have colors. You have your solid colors, blue, green, red, white, and magenta, as well as hold and recall. If you see a transitional color in one of the modes that you like, what you can do is while that light is illuminated in the pool, hit hold, and it's going to save that one custom color for you, and then you can bring it back using the recall. Whatever the pool lights turn off on is what they're always going to come back on the next time. So if you like a certain mode or a certain solid color, just either let them shut off via the automation or turn them off manually on that, and it's going to come back on that the next time that you use them. After lights, we have heat, which is where you will turn on and off your heater if you have one. You'll hit select until the off is flashing and then use the arrow keys to change it to heater or heat pump or whatever your specific pool is set up on. After heat, we have schedules. This is where you'll adjust the pool schedules, the light schedules, high speed, things like that. We set up every pool on a 24-hour schedule to begin. That's what we recommend as the best case scenario for keeping the pool clean and clear at all times. After pool, we have lights. This pool does not have a light schedule set up, so they'll only come on when they're turned on. We have high speed, which is on a 1-hour egg timer. Typically that's enough time for high speed to run, and what that means is that at the end of that hour, the pump speed is going to kick back down to its normal run speed. And then tree lights, we have 3 different schedules. One is from 7:35 to 10 p.m. Sunday through Thursday. So these are only coming on the weekdays on that schedule. If we go to the next one, we have a 4-hour egg timer. So if the lights are off and you manually turn them on, they'll come on for 4 hours and then shut off. And then we also have a weekend schedule. So 7:35 to midnight, only on Friday and Saturday. And this is something that you can do basically anytime you want to modify anything in this panel. You'll hit select until the item that you want to change is flashing, and then use the arrow keys to adjust it. After schedules, we go to settings. This is where we can adjust the clock if we need to. If you have Screen Logic, there is an option to sync the time of the pool with your phone. But if you travel into different time zones frequently, that might not be something that you'll want to do. There is an internal battery in this display, so even in the case of a power outage, it saves the programming as well as the time. But if you ever do need to adjust it, it is here. The second page, we have auto daylight savings adjustment turned on. The next page, we have IntelliChlor in settings. This is where you'll adjust your salt cells output level. As I was saying, in the spring and fall, we don't need as much chlorine as we do in the summer. So you'll come to the panel here in settings, IntelliChlor, and then scroll to the pool mode, and then adjust that set point as needed. The other page we have in IntelliChlor is super chlorinate mode. If you have a big party, a lot of kids or a lot of adults in the pool, and you're worried about the pool staying clean and clear, what you can do is hit select, turn on super chlorinate mode. You can set the run hours from 24 all the way up to 72. And then what it's going to do is run that salt cell for you at 100% production for 24 to 72 hours, depending on how long you set it. It's still safe to get in the pool. It's not any kind of chemical issue that you need to worry about. It's just giving the pool some extra chlorine to make sure it stays clean and clear. And then after that set time, it's going to kick back down to your normal run percentage. After IntelliChlor, we have Erase EEPROM, which we stress to all of our customers, never ever hit. It wipes the panel like it's brand new with no programming whatsoever. It asks you like 3 times, are you sure you want to do this? But we do point it out just so everybody knows. The last thing in settings we have is set password. If you'd like to set a password to lock the panel out so that no one can get in it unless they have the password. The last item in the menu that we're going to look for is diagnostics and then chlorinator. So if you see that low salt light on your salt cell and you have a salt cell pool, you'll go to menu, diagnostics, and then chlorinator, and this is going to give you your exact salt level. We can see that we're at 4,300 parts per million, so it's a little high, and then it's also in super chlorinate mode right now. And that is basically it for the EasyTouch. The main buttons you're going to be using is this mode button, possibly the lights button to turn the lights manually on and off, and maybe the high speed when you're doing things like vacuuming or running air out of the pump.